Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
Well, hello there. How are you ho-ho-hos doing this fine Christmas? I'm Jinlong the Red-Nosed Dragon, and you might notice my mood today is not the jolliest. That's because last Christmas I took a look at the Rudolph movie, which is much tamer compared to the horrific torture we're collectively about to experience. What, you thought you were getting quality for a Christmas present? Oh, don't worry. I assure you that with Rapsittie street kids, that pesky trait is nowhere to be found. So come with me, and we'll be in a world of eternal damnation. This is a case where the history behind this CGI abomination's shady production is more interesting than the movie itself. Rapsittie Street Kids Believe in Santa was produced by Wolf Tracer Studios, headed by a very sadistic individual named Colin Slater. They're also infamous for being behind a cinematic masterpiece you might be familiar with called Wolf Tracer's Dinosaur Island.
Come on, boys.
That one's a whole other nightmare to get through, though. God, where to begin? If you somehow tune out the horrific visuals assaulting your eyes every second, you'll notice the distinct voices of Nancy Cartwright, Paige O'Hara, Jodie Benson, and Mark Hamill as some of these movies' characters. How did they manage to get these extremely high-profile actors to agree to voicing this shit? Well, certain rumors were flying around. It's known Nancy Cartwright and Colin Slater both have ties to Scientology, so that must have been how he got to her. And I can only imagine Cartwright used her connections and influence to scam all these other people into participating in the Christmas special of the century. But Wolf Tracer couldn't produce this LSD trip-inducing picture by themselves. This company named J. Rose Productions partnered with them. And I also can't find anything under their name besides this one movie, which is just sad. Apparently, J. Rose dropped about $500,000 on this project and said sayonara, and left everything else to Colin Slater and Wolf Tracer. Meaning they didn't bother to look or check any of the process or the animation until they got to see the horrific final product. And somehow, after the entire cast got to see the sour and rotten fruits of their labor, Rapsittie Street Kids went on to air on the Warner Brothers channel in 2002. Let me emphasize, this aired on national television across the entire United States. Surely broadcasting such raw evil to the American public should be a crime. But since probably like 2 people managed to catch it and 0 managed to record it, it was actually lost for many years. This movie only aired on TV and never had any physical copies distributed, and nobody really wanted to waste a precious VHS on this garbage. The only thing that remained of it was a few newspaper articles covering it, and a Wolf Tracer demo reel posted on YouTube in 2008. It contained some test footage of Rapsittie Street Kids in Dinosaur Island. Yes, you heard me, this thing actually had animation tests. Considering it's in wonderful 240p quality, it's hard to tell whether it's worse or better than the final product, to be honest. You can see a few notable differences, mostly in the main character Ricky and Paige O'Hara's Regina George wannabe Nicole. For a while, this one demo reel was the only solid proof this movie existed. It became one of the most sought-after pieces of lost media. And all was about to change when the founder of the Lost Media Wiki, Diekate, personally contacted Colin Slater to get a copy of the movie. Slater then replied he'd paid $125 to transfer the beta tape to his computer and wanted Diekate to pay double that price for a copy, which he did. After cutting contact and refusing to give him what he paid for and being called out for it online a few times, Slater eventually delivered a damn copy. Diekate then released this thing on the internet during Lost Media Week 2015, for all to see and for all to hate. And that is the harrowing tale of how we have a copy of this crap to begin with. I think Diekate would agree that those $250 were totally worth it. To start us off with a bang, the opening sequence has a bunch of cheap snowflake effects that move very strangely. Not to mention the wondrous Comic Sans font. And when there's more complex camera angles, don't delude yourself, there is no camera work here, because what they're actually doing is rotating the screen, not caring about the clearly visible garbage area, because they couldn't be bothered to animate the fucking camera in the basic X and Y axis. I think that's all an excellent indication of the quality we'll be getting here. So we have a beautiful shot of this town with a whopping 7 houses that looks more like an N64 clip art stage that's struggling to render. A bus that is clearly on fire arrives carrying Ricky's original character model, when his final model appears mere seconds later. I'd say this is a new low, but when it comes to this movie, it's not possible to go lower.
Cause all the toy stores are looking mighty packed. Electronic toys, video games, balls and bats. I saw a scooter with a motor that was flat. I hope there's room in Santa's sleigh just for that.
Is rapping the only personality trait America can think of for a black person? Really? I mean, he's not even good at it. You also gotta love that walk cycle where he sinks his feet into the ground one at a time without moving his legs, then he casually glides along the sidewalk, as humans do. He somehow makes his way to a toy store, as a regular human does, stares at unrendered Lambert texture trains and badly photoshopped clip art animals, gets sad because he can't buy the entire store with 3 coins, and heads on home to break his windows or something.
Mama, I miss you big. You gave me this bear 'cause of love. So I'll give this bear 'cause of love.
So Ricky thinks the best way to honor the last thing his dead mother gave him is to give that away to the biggest, baddest bitch in school. Speaking of school, cut to Rapsittie Street Elementary, whose motto is striving for excellence. In a movie like this, talk about irony.
Then Mommy schedules me for my own hair lady. Smithy!
Hey, Nicole, duck! I mean dinosaur! That wasn't funny!
These dumbass kids then decide to start decorating a Christmas tree like 10 minutes before class, and oh my god. I'm sorry if you got desensitized to these shit visuals already, but I have not. It's almost like they got the first clip art trees they could find off Google and stuck them in there without giving less of a shit.
It's for Nicole, the honey. I know she's into money.
Yeah, you're pretty cool, Ricky. Except for liking Nicole. Now that's gross.
Hey, for once a decent line was said in this movie.
Class, sit down. You too, young Miss Nicole.
Well, looks like Mama isn't dead after all. It seems she got resurrected into this dead inside teacher who has unfunny sass and hating her job as her only personality traits. Yeah, that's what you feel pretty much the entire time you're watching this. We then get a very, very bad montage of these robotic, soulless creatures attempting to behave like humans unsuccessfully.
Time to share all the love and joy.
Yeah, right, bully boy. No one can catch the Smith man.
I'm gaining on you. You're asking for it.
I'll get you good, Smithy!
Good god, just when you think it can't get any worse, it keeps making it worse. This entire movie feels like a fever dream. No, fever nightmare. Their eyes are just black voids. Staring at them for too long causes your soul to get possessed for eternity.
Watch me, everyone! Watch what I can do!
I'll watch you, Nicole.
Not you!
Yeah, serves you right for being a creepy-ass simp, Ricky. This entire scene takes way longer than it should, by the way. I know, it's hard to believe, but watching these things chase each other on the ice for an hour is not as entertaining as it looks. The recess is finally over, bringing our suffering to a sweet yet temporary end. And Ricky's original model is still around. So it wasn't a mistake they made in the beginning? They're actually using different versions of the same person as different characters? It's still far from the worst thing to come out of this movie.
Give me back my sandwich, or you'll be sorry.
Aw, come on, Smithy. Didn't your mommy teach you to share?
Apparently, Smithy's sandwich is so irresistible, everybody else can't help but make out with it on the spot.
Oh, hey, that is so cool. I wish I had one. Here. Cheap is not cool, Lene. I brought that for the grab bag, Nicole. It's a great reindeer. I picked her out myself.
Holy shit. I legitimately have no words. I can totally see why Ricky is so into Nicole now. She's as plastic and dead inside as he is. Made for each other.
Ouch! Ow! Ow! Miss Parrington, get him away from me!
Get him away from me.
That means he likes you. He just doesn't know he does.
So we have simps, spoiled brats, and now full-on sexual harassment going on in this classroom. I can definitely feel how much they strive for that excellence now. So anyway, the principal comes in, and he is so important that he never shows up ever again. So Ricky's waiting for Nicole to reenact his simp plan. Nicole then proceeds to be a bitch as usual, and the last person he should ever give that bear to, but you can probably guess what he does next.
Merry Christmas, Nicole.
Have you lost your mind? Are you purposely trying to embarrass me? I can't even exchange this nasty old thing.
You might be smart with books, but you sure are stupid.
Is she the stupid one here? Is she? Why is he so obsessed with Nicole anyway? Because she's unashamedly materialistic? Because she treats her friends like garbage and him as well? You gave away the last thing your dead mother gave you for a chance to be a simp to a girl who hates you. Honestly, you deserve it. And guess you didn't care about that bear anyway, cause you never bothered to go after it when Nicole threw it away. So Ricky goes home to create lens flares outside his house with a candle. But when Nicole asks him where he managed to obtain such a candle capable of creating these visual effects, it's apparently a super rude thing to say.
Ricky, who gave you that candle? Oh, that is a really mean thing to say.
Yeah, what the fuck, Nicole? Don't you have any respect for candles?
Oh, see, kids nowadays.
Yeah, not a character I expected, but certainly a character this movie deserved.
Dear Santa, please send me a video box. And please send toys to all the kids in my class, even Nicole.
Jesus Christ, man, you're still obsessed with her? Let it go, she hates you and you should clearly hate her. But Ricky's off to send the letter to the abyss probably, with some incomprehensible gibberish from Grandma wishing him good luck. And just when he thought the physics were rather wonky, they then make the transition to non-existent. Seriously, what the hell is this? It reads more like the air texture suddenly became slippery, as this piece of paper is seemingly skating around in midair. It's apparently addressed to at the North Pole, so what? Was this supposed to be an email? Did he write an email, not to Santa Claus, to the North Pole itself, then print it out and send it as a letter? I really should be done questioning the logic here because there is none, but honestly, can you blame me? So this piece of scrap paper just so happens to fall in Nicole's yard. But who cares, cause she apparently runs right past it, leaving it to get buried under the snow and never found. The end. So since we got Paige O'Hara to be in this garbage, might as well get her to sing a song, huh?
Look at me, look and you'll see the best kid in the world. 'Cause on Christmas Eve, old Santa will see.
The song itself is painfully mediocre, but Paige O'Hara of course did great with vocals. That coupled with these visuals make for the visual experience of hearing colors. So after this lovely scene, Nicole finally finds the damn letter outside, finds out the bear was from Ricky's dead mama, and that somehow creates a conscience in her? Does that instantly erase everything she did? Well, gibberish grandma seems to think so.
Christmas. Oh.
I understood Christmas. This scares me. I should not be able to understand anything. So back to Nicole. All it took for her to turn good after an entire song about boosting her ego is reading a letter? Is that what's gonna pass for character development around here? I suppose so, because that's apparently reason enough for her to initiate a citywide manhunt for this one bear.
Let me guess. You were thrown out of the mall, so you're shopping at the dumpster.
The poor little princess is turned into a garbage man.
Very funny.
You know, if these guys are trying to offend you with this level of low-tier insults and you still take the bait, maybe you deserve to be called
garbage. Yeah, smelly, sniffy, and princess of the trash, Nicole.
For God's sake, man, if you're gonna bully somebody, at least do it right. Were none of you allowed to say the word heck before the age of 12? I'm guessing the best insult you learned in preschool was poopy head. So since the bear's not in that trash dump anymore, for some reason the next place to look is the basement.
Sniffy!
I love creeping out creepy girls.
This guy's gotta grow up to be a stalker, isn't he? Everything about him is weird. He carries a sandwich for days that another kid has made out with. He's friends with almost everybody to a disturbing degree. And he threatens to blackmail people?
I can so blackmail you guys.
Yeah, maybe call the cops next time he says or does anything.
Ah! Yes! I saved you again, my friend!
See, the more I watch this movie, the more I'm convinced it was made by someone who's never had a social interaction with another human in their life. And how long has he been carrying that fucking sandwich? It's been days. Ugh. Since trash doesn't usually get taken to the basement of all places, these creatures decided must apparently be in the junkyard. And there's apparently guard dogs at this abandoned junkyard. That all culminates to a scene proving whoever made this movie has never physically ran, because they are unable to animate someone doing it too. Smithy then throws the several days old moldy sandwich at Bart Simpson, and this somehow makes the dogs chase him instead, and they somehow manage to find one small bear in the middle of all the other garbage. Every single scene you look at, I want you to keep in mind, this aired on television!
Just climb into that tree and jump over. A lady does not climb trees.
Well, Lene is wearing a dress, and Sandwich Freak is too short to amount to anything in life, so what's your excuse? After wasting some more time showing off their totally running like a normal human skills, they finally make it back to Ricky's house, who's apparently done nothing this entire movie besides making candle lens flares and dealing with gibberish grandma. So maybe I understand why he looks so dead inside.
What are you doing here? And what happened?
Never mind. Here.
Nicole, this was a gift for you.
But doesn't it mean a lot to you?
Hell no, I was using it to get you emotionally vulnerable so you'd pity me and I'd get laid. You think I'll give 2 sandwiches about my dead mama?
I remember one early morning, my sister, brother, and I running down the stairs, so excited, only to find nothing under the tree. We thought that Santa had completely forgotten about us.
And he had! Our hopes and dreams for Christmas were lost forever. The end.
Lene then sat Charlie Brown's up to her room, which is actually a luxury hotel suite with how big it is. And her father comes to show her his incredible ability of blinking through his eyes. Oh, you thought we were done with the songs with this one here. We still got a song to beat out of poor Jodie Benson too. So after witnessing her mom's hair clipping through her shoulder, and her father's incredibly creepy and awkward remarks...
Hi, sweetheart. I understand you can use a little extra Christmas cheer. Do you see him? Do you see him? Do you see him? Do you see Santa? Do you see him? Do you see him?
She gets to sing an, again, mediocre sounding but with good vocals song about believing in Santa.
And there will always be a Santa, if I believe in Santa. Daddy, tell me you believe in Santa too.
You know, for being in the title of this movie, Santa sure hasn't shown any proof of his existence. Then again, it's unclear if anything is real in this nightmare hellscape universe. It's finally Christmas, and to waste our time and pad the runtime some more, we get to see the rest of Nicole's miserable family, which includes Mark Hamill father.
Grandma always sends me the best stuff.
Nothing's too good for my princess, and I've got the credit card bills to prove it.
Hey, at least he's onto her bullshit. Too bad he seems to keep enabling it instead of calling her out on her materialism. So she finds the off-brand VCR thing called a video box, which is apparently what Ricky wanted for Christmas, and she runs off to hit him to death with it or something.
Nicole?
Santa made a terrible mistake. He sent this present to the wrong house. So I ran over here as fast as I could.
Are you sure, Nicole?
Look, it has your name on it. Well, don't just stand there. Open it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does this scene bore the hell out of you? Does it feel like everything's in slow motion? 'Cause that's the entire movie, and I had to put up with it, and so do you. Moving on.
Oh, wow!
Lene's sister did say she wanted a pony, so is that a real one or just a big toy pony? It's actually one of those demon statue things where if you take your eyes off it, it kills you. But as a pony. For some reason, everybody gets to invade Linnea's house for Christmas and proceeds to stand there motionless while Ricky delivers some sick-ass rhymes.
Belief in Santa is where we start, but what matters is what's in our heart.
Do you know what, Nicole? I never stopped believing in Santa.
What? She said something comprehensible? What? How?
Christmas!
Never mind.
Hey!
What's that?
Wow!
Oh my god. Really? Really? Wow, it's the shadow of clip art Santa not being distorted by perspective at all. I think it's about time we end this nightmare for good, as we get one final shot of these little shits. We don't want to be here, but it seems they don't want to either, as the last thing we hear is a command to shut the door.
And a Merry Christmas to all.
Shut that door.
Well, this was an experience, and not a good one. I know I must have reminded you at least like 10 times now, but get it drilled in your head. A Warner Brothers executive looked at this and approved for it to be aired on public TV. I don't know what else this is supposed to tell us as a society besides, you can't really be worse in life than Colin Slater. Hey, it's almost like using all of your budget for high-profile voice actors, leaving nothing for anything else, and hoping said actors will draw in an audience would backfire. And no, it doesn't seem like Slater or Wolf Chaser learned their lesson, because Dinosaur Island was a thing 2 years later, and Mark Hamill was somehow still in it. I still haven't told you the best part, though.
My name's Jenna, and I'll be back with the Easter Bunny.
Yes, you saw correctly. No, you're not hallucinating. This is a sequel bait. The people who worked on this actually thought they'd get to make a sequel after the masterpiece of epic proportions they produced. And what would this wonderful sequel be about? Well, something about Jenna and Zeke and the Easter spirit. You know, this thing, Linnea's sister. And this thing, the angry surfer dude. I bet it would be a true Christmas miracle. Or Easter miracle, I guess. It's actually somewhat of a debated topic whether or not this sequel actually aired, because we got the newspaper articles talking about it, but there's no mention of it on the Wolf Chaser demo reel, only Believe in Santa. This movie was supposed to be released in 2003, and Dinosaur Island is from 2004, so it's widely assumed it was probably cancelled. Still, some speculation remains as to whether a script or even a half-animated version of this movie exists. I'd find it strange that Colin Slater never mentioned it, but if it does exist, I'm sure the internet would rejoice with new meme material. You know, Shrek and Monsters Inc. both came out literally a year before this, so no, I don't think technology at the time is an excuse. The worst budgeting I've ever seen a human do could be one, though. And hey, usually I wouldn't guilt the poor animators who got roped into an impossible work schedule on what was basically no budget, but come on. Would you really want to continue working on this movie, let alone get your name attached in Comic Sans at the credits of it, when this is what the demo reel looks like? Like, no, I'm pretty sure even Good Times offered more dignity than that. Wow. Wow, I really thought I'd seen the worst of the worst with elf bowling. But if there's something running this channel has taught me, is that no matter how much I think I've found the worst movie mankind has ever made, there's always something even worse, just out there, waiting to be found. And to imagine that somewhere out there exists something even worse than this, it keeps me up at night. It really does. With that, I wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. This year has been the absolute worst, so here's hoping the next one will be better. I have a feeling with time, it will be. Again, the sub count is growing much more than I expected. We're now at a whopping 748 subs. We're pretty much 3/4 of the way to 1K. I'm incredibly surprised that there's this many people considering the stuff I review worth subbing to, so I really appreciate every like, every comment, and of course, every sub. With that, I of course want to remind you, if you haven't already, to click that subscribe button and ring that little bell so that you can get notified as soon as I post a new video. Thanks so much for watching this Christmas crap with me, and I'll see you all next time. Or next year.